how to navigate an early phase relationship with my boyfriend who's recently become unemployed in the pandemic. I'm low on his priority list and he's trying to put his life back on track, and that isn't quite the same as breadcrumbs. All right. So, how to navigate this relationship that is, it seems like it's a budding relationship, and the context, the situation, the circumstances had your boyfriend lose his job and he's incredibly maybe feeling very destabilized right now. So I'm sorry to hear that. And it sounds like a really challenging situation, not only for him and also for you. The two of you are in a relationship. And so if he's feeling destabilized, that's naturally going to ripple into the relationship that you have with him. And there's going to have to be some level of flexibility and adaptation that's necessary for the relationship to move forward because of this circumstance that it doesn't sound like he had a lot of control over. So, number one, the first thing I want to say is that from time to time in life during a relationship, these kind of things are absolutely going to happen. And our ability to be flexible and resourceful is key to allowing the relationship to survive. So, the first thing that I'd love to open you up to as an idea that you can choose to adopt if it feels like it fits is to see that him regaining this stability, him regaining his stability as a man in his life, as a man in the relationship, is actually in service of the relationship more so than it is like just in service of himself. The reason that's important to adopt is because if you see that him losing his job has thrown him into a place where he's feeling possibly insecure. Maybe he is feeling uncertain and there's some fear there. Maybe he's questioning his ability to his value to provide as a man in relationship. I know a lot of men put value on their ability to provide and be a provider in the relationship. And if this is shaking his very foundation, then him getting into a place where he can get his footing and regain his balance in this uncertain situation is in service of the two of you going deeper together. Now, the more that you can see it that way, the more acceptance and allowance you can bring to the table, seeing that him taking care of him at this point is not something that is detrimental or actually damaging to the relationship, but it's something that is going to allow the two of you to actually go deeper and get back on track, and for him to show up with his best self, and for both of you to feel secure and comfortable again. So just that maneuver, it might seem simple, is really powerful in allowing you to be in rapport with exactly what's happening rather than resisting it, rather than making it wrong, rather than feeling like there is something broken within the relationship that needs to be fixed. But rather seeing it as this could be an opportunity for him to um, step back into his strength, and for you to really, in some ways, build even a deeper relationship through going through this struggle together. So another point that I'll make here is to communicate with him and to ask him what it is that he might need right now. So, is there a way that you can be deeper in his corner at this time? Is there a way in which you can give him perhaps reassurance that he might be uh, secretly looking for, but doesn't actually want to ask for it, or maybe doesn't even know that um, he wants to ask for it? So going back to that point about him feeling a bit insecure, possibly about like his value in relationship if he can't provide, um, knowing that you're by his side and that you still respect him and see his value and appreciate who he is, and that it's not something where you're just running because he's in an unstable position in his life, communicates a lot to him. I think that one insecurity too of men can be that if they lost everything, that the woman that they love would not actually be with them anymore. I know I've had that insecurity in the past. I know other men that have had that insecurity. And even though it might not be rational, it's something that's still there. And that could very well be from cultural programming around this idea of what it means to be a man in a relationship. So you being able to stick by his side in this and still bring respect and acceptance to the situation uh, is creates even more of an opportunity for the connection you have with him to be authentic. And then the last point that I want to make around this is that given he is maybe needing to retreat a little bit and prioritize some other things to get back on his feet and step into his purpose and create stability, this affords you the opportunity to do that as well. And so here's life. It's dealing you a certain set of cards right now in this moment. How do you play them in a way that work for you? So, the blessings of this are that in the course of building your relationship, now there's this interesting phase where you get to take some momentary pause and come back to yourself and say, well, okay, how there's permission now, guilt free permission for me to focus on myself and connect back with myself so that I can continue to bring my best self to the connection in the moments that is possible. So if he's leaning back into his world a little bit, it's not necessarily for you to suddenly go even more over there, but how can you also kind of lean back to say, all right, what is it that I can do in my life to create more stability, create more growth, create more awareness? Because both of you, as you're in your worlds, creating these things for yourselves, they become the offerings that you can give into the relationship when the two of you are connecting. Again, flexibility is key. And how can you flow with the circumstances of life rather than resist it?
Hey, and if you enjoyed that video, I want to invite you to become part of our Becoming the One community. Becoming the One is our flagship program. It retails for $1,000 on my website. But today, you can get access to the first module for only $1. We want to make it risk-free so that you can try out this program that's been changing so many women's lives in the realm of relationships, giving them a whole new operating system for how they relate to themselves and how they relate to the men that they desire. And so if you're single or you're in a complicated relationship situation and you're wanting some perspective, you're wanting to find your power, reclaim your voice, I want to encourage you to join this program. Try it out for a couple of weeks, see how you like it. We've had about 700 to 800 women through the program, massive amounts of reviews of people getting married, getting out of toxic relationships, and finally approaching being single with a sense of ease and trust and surrender and actually enjoying the process. So check it out. It's in the link below this video. You can click on it right now and check out the page, see if it's for you. And I look forward to seeing you in the members area. Thanks.